All right, man, peace. So, I get a lot of brothers that ask me about certain statements that I make pertaining to the scriptures and my assertions that a man can have more than one woman. And I'll probably be doing a video on that relatively soon. I saw a film on cable, one of my favorite films from my childhood, Mo Better Blues, starring Denzel Washington, Wesley Snipes, etc., directed by Spike Lee. Very good film, and it illustrated many of the themes that I speak about on this channel, such as a man having more than one woman, one being a quote-unquote wife, the other being a quote-unquote concubine, what the differences are, and the headaches that come along with both. So anyway, I figured I'd just go through this film with brothers and we can see some of the components of that dynamic, which Spike Lee illustrated very well. Of course, with another outstanding performance by Denzel Washington. So let's see what happens over the course of this film and what it illustrates.
Hey, hey, wake up. Wake up. Wake up. You're not up. Come on, wake up.
I'm up.
You're not up.
I'm up. I do not want to go to school. Okay? I'm going.
Get up, get up, get up, get up, get up.
I'm up now.
You're late for school. All your little children will have their little hearts broken.
Yeah, speaking of broken hearts, please. You know what my mother always used to tell me? She used to say, don't ever marry a musician, let alone go out with one. She said I'd be inviting grief and pain and tears and heartbreak to my doorstep.
Yeah, well, your mother wasn't talking about me.
Maybe not. You're a good brother, Bleak. But you still don't know what you want.
Well, I don't know about that. I think that he knows what he wants. He wants coochie, and he wants a lot of it. And you happen to be one of the pieces that he has acquired. And you have no problem with it because you're still around. And Denzel's character, Bleak, is going to touch on that sentiment right now.
Guess it's time for Confessions of a Modern Day Dog.
Well, like it or not, you're a dog. You are a dog. You're a good doggy. A nice dog, but you're a dog nonetheless.
What can I say? I'm not gonna argue the point. You know how I am? With men, it's a dick thing.
A dick thing?
A D-I-C-K thing. A D-I-C-K thing.
The reason why I wanted to open this video with that scene is because Denzel Washington's character, Bleak, is laying out who he is as a person. And he's letting her know, as you can see by the dialogue, she already knows that he has more than one woman. She is one of them. And look, let me say this for brothers, man. And I say this every time I speak on this topic. Yes, a man can have more than one woman, but the amount of women that you bring into your life has to be directly correlated with the amount of negative energy that you can put up with, the amount of confusion that you can put up with, what's going on in your life, where you are financially, mentally, spiritually. The woman is an entity that is going to come into your life and demand a lot of attention, a lot of energy. She's going to engage in hijinks and theatrics to try to pull you off of your zone or out of your zone. If you're not quite where you want to be in life, if you don't quite know who you are, I personally would not recommend getting into a serious relationship, particularly with the quote-unquote Western woman. But like I always tell cats, I don't come on my channel to tell people what to do. I just give them my perspective, which leans towards the truth and empirical data. So it's up for brothers to figure out what they want to do. But no, I don't go along with or conform towards any type of societal propaganda or agenda. The woman in her mind and in her spirit knows that a man can have more than one woman. They just don't want to know about it. Why? Because the woman does not want to subscribe to any dynamic where she has to get in line or be in any type of order. So this character, the female character that Denzel Washington was talking to, is one of his women, played by Spike Lee's sister, which to me is kind of awkward because they look very much alike. But Denzel is laying it out with her that, yes, I have more than one woman because I'm a very virile man. So you're here, so you must not have a problem with it. And she really doesn't, which is why she's saying that he's a good dog. What does that mean? She knows that he's with more than one woman, but she likes him so much, she likes his energy so much that she's willing to deal with it. All right, so now we've moved ahead in the film to the introduction of Bleek's other woman. And just pay attention to the difference in the way that he interacts with her as opposed to the first female. That's going to be the major theme of this video. And that's why the name of the video is going to be the difference between a wife and a concubine. There are going to be many different criteria that's going to illustrate the difference between a wife and a concubine. One of the main ways that you can tell is, number one, how the woman conducts herself, and number two, how you're compelled to treat her. Because a man with wisdom is compelled to treat a woman or any person according to their actions. But now let's watch the introduction of this other female in Bleek's life. As you can see, he's a trumpet player. And really, the trumpet or music is his first love. The trumpet is his wife, really. And the other two females, spend the majority of the film trying to compete with his one true love, that being the trumpet and music.
Clark, what time is it?
1 o'clock p.m.
And what does that mean?
That means you're practicing.
That's right. It means I'm practicing. And if you know I'm practicing, and you know I don't finish practicing until 2 o'clock, which is for at least another 60 minutes, why are you buzzing my buzzer?
Because I want to see.
What? What is that supposed to mean?
That means let me up.
And who are you?
I'm Clark.
How many?
Now you see how he had to speak to her like she was a child? Notice the difference, not only in the way that she conducted herself, but just notice the difference in the way that Spike Lee chose to depict her character from the onset as someone who deliberately decides that she's going to interrupt Denzel's character, Bleek's practice, knowing that he is intimately concerned with how proficient he is with his music, and that is his one true love. She did that on purpose to try to bring some form of chaos or disruption into his life. And that is one of the main tip-offs in regards to a concubine. A concubine, or a woman on a low level, is always going to go out of her way to bring disruption into your life, as opposed to trying to inject her way into your life in a smooth manner. She's going to, a real woman's going to try to figure out how she can fit into your life and make your life better. That's why I always tell brothers, if you with a chick and she's not concerned with your happiness, then you got to get rid of her, man. Life is stressful as it is. Why bring wanton stress into your life? Females by nature in general prefer disorder and chaos. And this is why you have to train the woman from the onset of whatever relationship you're in with her, that there are certain things that you're going to tolerate and certain things that you're not. So you have to figure out if it's worth being with this female based on the energy that she's going to bring. But let's watch his interaction with this, with his other female, Clark.
How many times do I have to tell you? I have a certain amount of time allotted for daily practice. You know this, yet you consistently overlook my program.
And that should be telling you something about her, brother. Let's be for real. The reason why you're letting her do that is because she's fine as hell.
get the times mixed up. Everything with you is so damn regulated. A certain time to do this, a certain time to do that. Everything's on a schedule, a timetable. Loosen up, tight ass.
Loosen up, tight ass. That's Agent of Chaos rhetoric.
Let me explain something to you. Life is short, okay? I need it like this to do all the things I gotta do. I like order.
Order's fun.
Hey, brother, did you hear that? Hey, that's how a man with a ruling class mentality thinks. Life is short. I like order. Order. He understands that this female here is trying to bring chaos into his life, but I guess that the coochie that she's bringing to the table is enough to offset the disharmony and the disorder that she's bringing.
Order's fine, but you're ridiculous.
Let me rewind it back to get it in context.
I get the times mixed up. Everything with you is so damn regulated. A certain time to do this, a certain time to do that. Everything's on a schedule, a timetable. Loosen up, tight ass.
Let me explain something to you. Life is short, okay? I need it like this to do all the things I gotta do. I like order.
Order's fine, but you're ridiculous.
And what do you want?
I want a man who knows what he wants.
No, you want him to put you over his music so that you can get the thrill out of usurping the main priority in his life. That being what he loves, that being music. Brothers, let me say this. Many of these females, particularly if they see that you have something that you love to do, that you have a certain talent or gift, many of the more destructive females will go out of their way to see if they can usurp that talent or that gift on the food chain of your life. They want to see if they can get you to make them the number one priority in your life. That's what's called making you fall in love with them. I mean, those type of things are not, falling in love is not a convention that someone is supposed to be trying to manipulate. And this is why I constantly make videos about it. The main reason why the female wants a man to fall in love with her is so that she can manipulate, so that she can try to control and get the thrill out of conquering. You'll oftentimes find that in many of these situations or relationships, when you observe it, once the female is able to conquer the man in that way, making him fall in love with her, then she'll get bored and then she'll start to bring the true disharmonious aspect into the relationship, which soon leads to the divorce. You'll hear many men say, well, wow, we were so in love, and then after this happened or that happened, she changed as a person. She didn't change. It was just, the exciting aspect of the relationship ritual came to an end. And it was time for her to move forward on to the next person. That's a female of the type of character like Clark. Now, you also have females that are more steady. Once again, they'll come into your life and see what they can add into your life. They will not try to throw off your daily rhythm or your daily pattern, because they'll respect order. A woman who has true womanly characteristics will honor manly characteristics. One of the main manly characteristics being order. She's going to encourage it because she needs a man to bring order into her life. Almost all these women need a man to bring order into their life, no matter what level they're at. Now, some of the lower level women will deny it because they fully embrace their yearning for chaos. That's the type of character that this female is. This is why she's just concubine material and not wife material.
Decisive. You don't know what you want. Make up your mind, be a man, and don't be wishy-washy on me.
Hey, it's fun to watch these type of movies. This movie came out almost 30 years ago because you're here that this film is very, very well written. This character of Clark uses a lot of the low-level mind control rhetoric that many modern-day liberal females use today. Be a man, be decisive, things of that nature that are meant to get into the man's head and make him think that she's supposed to be the number one priority in his life, when he already has a number one priority, that being trying to excel in his chosen field or his chosen profession. Brothers, look, if you're in a relationship or a rapport with a female where she's trying to get you to think or feel a certain way about her, then you have to evaluate that female very quickly, because feelings are something that happen naturally. If somebody's trying to manipulate your feelings, then that means that they're a dysfunctional person. They're just trying to get over on you in some way. People who are in your life to benefit you, they're not trying to see if they can get you to think or feel a certain way. They're truly in your life for your own benefit, just like you should be in other people's life for their benefit. If you're in somebody else's life to see how much damage or chaos you could bring into their life, then you're a piece of shit. And you should find something better to do with your time. That's male or female.
I know what I want. My music. Everything else is secondary.
Hey, you see what he said? I know what I want in life. My music. Everything else is secondary. Once again, his music was his number one focus. That's truly what this film is about. Problem with this character, though, in Bleak, is that he loved his music so much that he made it an idol. And part of the path of this film is the journey that Denzel Washington's character goes on to find himself and to keep everything in proper moderation, because he is gifted musically, but he started to worship his music.
I knew you would say that.
Then why'd you ask?
Brother, if your music is the be-all to end-all as you state, to ensure that, you better get rid of Giant as your manager.
Clark, stay out of my business, okay?
Are you screwing him or what? He's a...
Hey, that's another statement that liberal females will make. You know, I was on the phone with a brother, this was a long time ago, and he was telling me how a cat that he knew got into a domestic violence dispute with his female, because they got into an argument, and the first thing that the female did was call him a homosexual, and so on and so forth. Many times you'll see this with the liberal female. There's a series of inflammatory statements that they'll try to make towards men, because they're desperate to make a man think how they want them to think. You see how Bleak, Denzel's character, opened up his response to her by saying, "Stay out of my business." How does she respond? "Are you screwing him?" Once again, these are different signs. When a woman is disrespectful with her mouth and disregarding of the masculine principle, that's another sign that she's not wife material. The woman that you're with has to respect the masculine principle. If she's with a man, why would she make that type of statement for, unless she's trying to denigrate his masculinity? That's her way, once again, of trying to find an inroad into manipulating him and getting what she wants from him. Once again, please keep in mind the difference between how her character is conducting herself as opposed to the previous female played by Spike Lee's sister.
He's a horrible manager. Everybody can see that, but you...
Why are you bringing all this confusion into my home?
Hey, Denzel's character's on point. He said, "Why are you bringing all this confusion into my home?" As soon as she comes in, she stops his practice. Now she's trying to attack his business associates, his music, everything. Once again, many of these females, the liberal female is an agent of chaos. As soon as you let them into your home, like, hey, you ever know a broad and you stop talking to her, you realize she's crazy, and then she try to text you back or communicate back with you 8-9 months later, and within 3 conversations, 3 text messages, she's right back to being that demon, that agent of chaos again. Why is that? Because that's in her DNA. So that's why I say, brothers, once you are able to categorize what type of female is in your life, or what type of female you're dealing with, then you understand, you should understand the rules of engagement. You don't allow yourself to get mentally tied up in her jargon, in her rhetoric. Either she's giving you some pussy or she's not. Period. And once you decide that she needs to go on about her way and about her business, jettison her. All right, just make sure that you do not impregnate that female.
I'm looking out for your best interest. Bleak. I'm not saying I'm a brain surgeon.
Well, we know that. You can't be a brain surgeon. You have to have a brain to be a brain surgeon.
But everybody's a teacher. People can teach you two things: what to do and what not to do.
I agree with that. I agree with that. They can also teach you who you should be around and who you shouldn't.
Say something.
Let's make love.
You see what he said? When she said say something, he said let's make love. That's his way of saying that's what you're here for and that's about all you're good for. Not to be crass, but Denzel Washington's character in this film, he understands the woman very well.
For once, let's be real. What you and I do is not make love.
What would you call it then?
It's definitely not making love.
Boning?
You've been more imaginative.
Oh, I got a million of them. You ever heard of the Mo Better?
Well, what?
Mo Better makes it more better. Better makes it more better.
Yeah, that's what we do. We don't make love because you don't love me.
You see that? She wants him to love her, or really to fall in love with her, so that she can get him to listen to a lot of her rhetoric. Since she came into his home, all she has done is try to instruct him on how to live his life and who he should be associating with. She's upset that she cannot get him to listen to her because she knows that he's not in love with her. So she knows her station is just to be a concubine. So she's really trying to see what she can get out of him while she's with him.
But in the meantime, I'll settle for something more better.
Yeah, I bet you will.
I knew you would.
Now, just pay very close attention to what occurs here. Of course, Denzel Washington's character is in the middle of a lovemaking scene with his concubine, Clark. And look at what she does as a desperate measure to once again try to usurp the priority scale that he set up, with music being number one and her being underneath music. Look at what she does. Pay very close attention.
Oh, sorry.
I think you bit my lip. Oh, shit. Is it bleeding? What you laughing at?
I was playing.
Well, don't play with my lips.
I'm sorry. Jesus Christ, I said I'm sorry.
Damn. You're nuts!
You want me to kiss it to make it more better?
Shit ain't funny, man.
I was joking. All right. I won't ever kiss you again.
That's good. Make my living with my lips.
I make my living with my lips.
Now, she knows that he plays the trumpet. She knows that he spends the majority of his day practicing on the trumpet. That's his first love. Music is his muse. Music is really his idol. She's jealous of that, and she's trying to usurp that order by biting his lip so that he can pay more attention to her. He can be disabled from being able to play his trumpet. Brothers, look, this is why I state over and over and over again, if you have a certain goal that you want to accomplish in life, look, I've stated that a man really shouldn't even have a woman if he's trying to pursue a goal. But if you're going to have a woman, make sure that it's the right type of woman who's going to be supportive of what you're trying to do with your life, and is not going to spend her time trying to bring negative energy into your life. Negative energy will stop you from going to where you want to go. Negative people will stop you from going where you want to go. Sometimes you have to learn how to embrace solitude to get to where you want to go. Hanging around people, for the most part, does not get you anywhere in life. Most people are sheep, and most of them are going nowhere fast. It might sound harsh, but it is what it is. Most people are sheep, and they're going nowhere fast. All right? So, whoever you allow in your life, they have to have the same motivations, focus, and mental that you have. If not, they're going to do little things to try to stop you. Oh, you're thinking about doing that? Why? Oh, you think you this, you think you that. At this point, Denzel Washington, his character, is supposed to be throwing her out of his home, because he should be astute enough to know what she's doing. Now, once again, he just likes the collection of coochie that he has, so he tolerates it. But it's up to him. Just like it's up to y'all, brothers. But the character of Clark shows you that she's a concubine. Okay, I had a brother in the comments tell me he has a wife and another woman, and the wife knows about it, but he says the other woman is hard to control. Brother, in this society, you can't tell the concubine what to do. You just can't. If she chooses to be with you and only give you the ass, then that's great. If not, then that is what it is too. As long as when you beckon, she comes. Okay? Everything is up to you. It's up to your discretion. You have to make decisions based off of people's actions. You can't worry about who you can control. The only thing that you can control is yourself. You take people or you treat people according to their actions. When a woman shows you that she's loyal to you, she goes higher up on the totem pole. When a woman shows that she cannot conduct herself properly, then she goes down lower on the totem pole, or she gets eliminated. Point being is you have to be honest with yourself when you're dealing with many of these people. Because many of them are teeter-tottering on the tightrope of sanity. Okay? So, once you're able to establish whether someone is trying to bring confusion or order into your life, then you know how to deal with them. But you have to be trying to bring order into your own life. But I'm going to continue this on part 2. Peace.